Hello YouTube, Problematic Boy here. This is not going to be a demonstration. Usually I do build demonstrations of unique things for people to try. I'm just going to be playing this, maybe I will do a video on this character eventually. Uh, it's just a bleed seething Rahan. I'm going to just be mapping a little bit while I talk about the all-important wee woo wee woo. This is an announcement. Crow's Corner happening February 1st, which at the moment is in 2 days. And I have an extremely important question that I just wanted to air out here in case it doesn't get answered on the Crow's Corner, or maybe this video will make it so that the devs do hear this question. Currently, for those who don't know, and I've said this in a few comments, but this particularly affects Bleed and Ignite. There's an issue with ailments in this game. And the current issue with ailments is that the strongest ailment does not apply. The most recent ailment applies. So maybe I'll demonstrate that on the boss here once I get to him. But what that really means is that if you're attacking multiple times with a skill like Ground Shaker, obviously the explosion gives a really strong ailment because of the way Ground Shaker works. But if you hit again, or you accidentally hit again, because you don't want to hit again with your non-demolisher charge, you'll end up overriding your strong bleed or your strong ignite with a weaker version that does almost no damage. This also applies to things like my leap, which also has a weaker bleed on it than the Ground Shaker. And for Angry Rahan, Anger Rahan, I don't know why I'm calling him Angry because I think it's funny, but for Anger Rahan it also applies to his Burst, where his Burst will apply a weak bleed, and there's really no way to get around that. Alright, let's go for Reaping Duration here. So here I'll try to demonstrate it on this boss. There's kind of a strong bleed, and I'm going to leap. Now it does no damage, see? Strong bleed, you see his health ticking down, leap, and it stops. So the most recent ailment applies, just in case. I wanted to have a contingency for if they answer the question by saying that the strongest ailment does apply. I wanted to just to show proof that that's not what happens. That my leap very clearly overrides and recently applies a weak bleed that overwrites my strong bleed that is actually killing the boss. So that's basically how it's a big problem with bleed and ignite, where you just can't. It's just very difficult to play the builds. You have to really play around it, and it's not very fun. I mean, I find it fun just because I'm a crazy guy who likes Bleed and Ignite. But, hopefully my question is answered in the Crow's Corner. I really want to know why, and I also have a question I didn't submit to Crow's Corner, but it's very weird how, I do want to talk about this a little bit. How double thrust exists. Double thrust, I'll show you guys in a second once we load in here. I'll try to keep this a short video, but I wanted to bonus mention double thrust. So double thrust, if we go down to it, where are you, double thrust? It's limited to one-handed swords, claws, and daggers. And it has some bleed synergy where it has chance to bleed and 35% additional bleed damage. The problem with double thrusts is that one-handed swords, claws, and daggers do not have available to them any bleed mods at all. It's very strange. There's no base bleed, no bleed as main hand, no affliction effect, nothing good on any of these things. There might be affliction effect on daggers, but I mean, whatever. It doesn't have the bleed, the base bleed or the bleed damage on it, so it can't really do anything. And it's limited to dual wielding, so you can't use the bleed shield with it. So I just don't. This doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Maybe next season or something they'll figure something out with the with the mods here. But I'm hoping that this ailment issue is something that can be hot fixed. I really want. When I'm talking about the ailment issue, I'm talking about the fact that the strongest ailment doesn't apply. I really hope this isn't something I have to wait till the next season for. If I do, and they guarantee that it'll happen next season, I'll be happy. I'll be happy, but I would really love to see it just put into the game strongest ailment always applies. That way I can ground shaker and then keep hitting and just leap and do everything that I want to do, and it'll be a much smoother experience. Uh, this is probably what I'm worried about is that this is a problem that only affects me or in like a few other people. Like most people don't play bleed builds, most people don't play knight builds, but the reason they don't play those builds is because they feel bad because of the ailment situation. So it'd be nice if those builds are opened up. That's really all I have to say. Problematic boy here, signing out. Yeah, I'm really hoping for a good answer. If they ignore the question or that, I'm just going to become progressively more annoying. I'm going to keep asking the same question until I get an answer, and hopefully until it gets fixed. All right, bye bye. Also, like, subscribe, and you can catch me on twitch.tv/problematicboy. See ya.